Okay, we're live on Facebook and YouTube. How's it going, everybody? We got my friend Haruko from Mount Shasta, BlueStar child in the house. So we're going to bring her up here, see what she's been doing, see what's been going on. It's been a long time since I've seen her. The last time I saw her was in Shasta when I met her, kind of by accident, but we know there's no accidents. Let me just get everything situated. Welcome, everybody, from Facebook, the Facebook pages, and from YouTube. Let me just get her up here. Let's see. Hola.
Hello. Hola. ¿Cómo estás?
How are you doing? It's good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I've been watching your flute playing and some of the stuff. You're really starting to come out now. You're starting to get out there and, you know,
getting out to the world.
Yeah, well, I think that's really important right now, especially with the females. You know, it's been like there seems to be a lot of them stepping up, and a lot of them have come on the show, said, you know, their team or their higher self is telling them it's time to step up, you know. So
yes.
Have you been feeling that?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Something is burning in my in the back.
In the back.
You know, something. Oh, wow. There's excitement is happening in my heart center and heart space, and everything is coming together, and lots of deep cleaning, clearing, and because many of the timelines are merging, and so in order to merge the past, past or present or future, it doesn't matter, but there are a lot of pain in that timeline sometimes, and that needs to come up and release, and fear and stuff like that. So it's been quite busy every day, isn't it?
Yes. And so how does that work for you? Do you like, are things coming up for you as an individual, or are things coming up for you and they're collective? Are they both?
Oh, they're both.
Yeah.
We have to embody this humanness,
Yeah. Yes.
And these memories and from the generations, from the ancestors, we remember all that things from the past life to this lifetime, and that is really coming into the surface more and more, and lots of surprises and lots of intensity that is beyond what I have experienced. So
is that right?
It's a human level. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't. Well, okay. So everybody knows last year we went to Shasta, and we were walking down the main street in Shasta, and we walked by this business, and it said Galactic Activation Room. and Morgan said, "Let's go in." So we went in, and you have your studio, which that piece that's behind you, somebody already made a comment about it. This is what she does, right? So we walked in, Morgan said, take your shoes off because you had to, but you were saying, hey, I know you, I watch your show. And I'm like, oh, so then I ended up went and got my phone and we did a show, and you talked about how that all started, because I've only seen one person that does anything close to what you're doing. And so I'd never seen anything like it. And they're really big, although you have prints. But we were standing there, and the first one I looked at, I said, what's that one? And you said, that's the bunny universe, right? That was one of the first ones you ever did. And
Right.
yeah. And I said to you, well, how did you come up with that? And you said, well, I go to the bunny universe. Everything's fluffy. And so you're actually downloading this and putting it on these large murals. And so that's, I just wanted to explain, because somebody made a comment about it. This is what this is part of what you do. But anyway,
right.
in your story, going back to what you were saying, you've been connected for a long time, and you had quite a story. So for you to say you've never felt anything this intense, that's very human of you. You know, that tells me that you're embodying this, because, you know, and I've had quite a few people tell me this year that come on the show, I knew this was going to happen, but I didn't know it was going to be like this. Is that how you feel?
Yeah, because everything is new in this way. Like in the past, we got closer to where we want to go, but something really backfire, you know, like Atlantis and Lemuria and all kinds of civilization and star system that, you know, right before it just got pulled back, and I lost that train of the thought.
That's okay. That's a 3D memory. It's leaving all of us. No, I was just saying how after all you've been through and connected to, because I've met a lot of people, but you're very connected. I mean, this is just my opinion, you know, from my experience. But you said how intense it's been. Like,
right.
You know, I mean, it's unexpectedly, I guess, you know.
Yeah. Well, we knew what we're gonna manifest. I mean, I feel like I have the essence from the future of the earth, and that represent the blue star, the blue light, and so I have quite assurance and clear confidence that earth is gonna come into the state that we really desired and dreamed of.
Yeah.
But we didn't know how and when and all the stuff, because everything was so new, because we are creating different design because we are overcoming and learn so much from the past, you know, past experience. So we kind of put them all together in a new way and recreated a new design, and we just threw ourselves in there. Okay, we're gonna do it because it will happen. And for some reason, I have that assurance that it will.
Yeah.
And that has been my anchor. And then also my drawing, which happened really unexpectedly, because when I was going to the graduate school in San Francisco in the art school, I started to draw rabbits.
I remember.
And everything I did was rabbits, and I had a rabbit costume and all the silly things. And that was 1999.
Wow.
And I didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't know what the rabbit represents. I thought it was just my imagination. I'm just having fun. But for some reason, I feel something in my heart, you know? And now I know that why rabbit appeared in my life, because they're the most lovable, you know, cuddly, safe, you know. They make you feel safe and melt you down, your heart melts down with their fluffiness and cuteness. And so it was the spirit's way to approach me so that I don't get scared.
And then it started coming with the rest of the information.
Right. Yeah, once I finished the rabbit universe, they opened the doorway to go to different dimensions.
Wow. So you said you feel like you carry the essence of the future Earth. But before we go there, I want to ask you, because you mentioned Lemuria and Atlantis and
Mm-hmm.
other galactic civilizations that we've been tied to. Over the years since 1999, have you gotten a lot of direct information from spirit in regard to galactic civilizations, Lemuria and Atlantis, and so on?
Mm, I think my part and my role is to not get into too much detail of the information.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of clogs my mind and also my energy system for some reason, because I am tuning into a it's hard to put it in the words, but vast, infinite space where all the information are. And I'm focusing on one specific or one kind of energy field, which is very envelope in a bigger way. So
Okay.
I don't go into little more details.
Yeah.
And
You.
I
Yeah.
have been more like a feeler. I feel
Yeah.
and not so much in the words and details.
So it sounds like you don't go in there to get the stories. You go in there to get code that you're pulling down and anchoring through your work, right? I mean, to share and to anchor to the earth. Like,
Right. Yeah, the codes or all the everything is sort of the geometry, the
yeah.
energy that is moving, infinitely and changing and transforming. And in that, there is the information. So I feel like I'm capturing that information, and that becomes code sometimes, or,
Mm,
some people can read in detail, perhaps like, Polaris AB can describe everything, explain, so there is a different people, different with a different gift, and now I think I just capture that large information and download it, or physicalize it, so we can uh experience it in a
yeah.
cellular level. Mm-hmm.
Well, I remember when I was in your business, your place of business, in your studio, and I was putting the because I was using my phone, I was putting the camera on some of your work, like what's behind you, and
Mm-hmm.
people were getting activated, in a big way,
Mm-hmm.
because these creations that you're bringing from dimension and then putting them on paper carry a lot of code, but it's not necessarily words, is it?
No, there are different shapes and lines, and sometimes
Mm,
they appear as little beings and things like
mm,
that. One thing I really like to stress about, or like say that about my artwork, is that they are all reflection of what we already have within. We already have that coding or information or essence of the divine. And so some people come to my gallery and say, oh, your work is so powerful, and then I really have to say that's the reflection of you. And in the past civilization, for example, in Atlantis, we have given so much power into the objects outside of ourselves, and became destructive. And so in this time, I feel like the magnificent bomb is within us all,
yeah.
and that bomb can be activated by the power of love that each of us has, and that can be manifested by loving ourselves as a
Yeah.
human.
Yeah.
So it's a different planning. So that's why we have to really embody this human body and get in touch with emotions and things like that.
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Yeah. You can't do it without the human. You know,
Exactly.
that's
Mm-hmm.
that's the that's the cherry on the cake. So you've been in Shasta for quite a while, but I mean, like all of 2020, you're in Shasta.
Yes.
2020's
Mm-hmm.
been like 2020's been just amazing. 2020's been dimensional. You know,
Mm-hmm.
uh, what's it like being in Shasta throughout 2020 and with the quarantine and everything else? like, because I know it's a small community and you know, people know each other,
Mhm.
but energetically and otherwise, what's it like over there during 2020? Are people talking about what's happening, or people
Mm,
expanding? I mean, is it,
mm.
what's it like over there?
Well, as I am pretty hermit in a way that I don't
Like
go
all of
out and
us.
say, hey, what's going on? And so, um, and also I realized that there are different pocket of like frequencies. And so,
Yes.
for example, if I go to grocery stores, people wearing masks and, they're in a kind of fear mode.
Yeah.
And I respect that. But yeah, it's the same. It's just in a small scale. But
Yeah.
whatever you guys experience in a bigger city, we experience that here. But
Mm.
fortunately, we have the mountain and
Yes.
nature, so we have less stress about staying
Yes.
at home and things like that. And what I am hoping is that mountain is really getting back to the full power. And we just had a fresh snow as well this
Did you really?
weekend. Yeah.
This late? Are you kidding
Mm-hmm.
me?
Yeah,
Wow.
fresh snow in the mountain, not in the city, in
Wow.
the
How
town.
cool is that? So,
Yeah.
uh, now do you communicate with the mountain?
Yeah, that's my main,
Okay.
course in the daily life.
Oh wow. And what about Telos? What about the the brothers and sisters family that resides uh, beneath the mountain? Do you ever communicate with them in any way?
I do. I mean, I don't really focus on that so much.
Mm.
It's just not my desire. But when
Right.
I go to the mountain, I feel the other side of them, and there's a veil, and you can feel the other side. They're just smiling,
Wow.
sending us love and holding the space, basically, because they know how to be in the infinite space of now, where there's so much potential, and you just want to hold there. That's
Wow.
where many higher dimensional beings are doing, including us as well, that you speak 0 point.
Yes.
And for me, I call it like infinite now, because there's so much in the now moment, and so magical and miracle could happen in that now moment if we really are in there in that space. So that's been my focus. So I see, when I go to the town, I just hold that space and just observe other people. And I haven't really met anyone who are kind of like me yet. Many people stay at home too.
Yeah.
So
That's probably why none of you have met each other. If it wasn't for social media, none of us would know each other because
mm,
we're all hermits. None of us want to go
right.
anywhere.
Yeah, it was
That's been
really
the big thing about the quarantine. I mean, for all of us, nothing changed. They
right.
said stay home. Well, that's all we ever do anyway, right?
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. So I remember the last time we have talked, we couldn't cover the back room because there was no Wi-Fi.
Yes.
So I can walk around and show you
Yes. I didn't
house.
know if you
Yeah.
could or not. So you can do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Let's
Yeah.
do
That's
that.
why I'm doing this cell phone, and
Yes.
so I can
You
move
got,
around.
yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Like this
Okay.
one behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a new one? Is it
This one is the
I,
one called Rainbow, Pleiadian Rainbow
I'm gonna put I'm
spaceship.
going to I'm going to I'm going to spotlight the video here. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah.
Okay, so here it is. Hold on for a
So
second. Move
That's
my chair.
Pleiadian rainbow. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, Rainbow, Pleiadian Rainbow Mothership. There you go.
Wow. How long does something like that take you to do?
Mm, well, it's accumulation of sketches over the years. I have
Ah,
many sketches, and whenever I feel to, I draw, and sometimes I feel that energy or meaning of that design. So I write it down, and And then when I feel the big theme coming in, like, oh, okay, I feel like I want to do Pleiadian Mothership or Pleiadian Energy. I didn't know the title. And then I flip through the pages, and then I find that the design that wants to come together. And so it's kind of like a totem pole. I just put the design,
like a cosmic galactic totem pole. And people are already saying they're being activated, which doesn't surprise me. You ought to be in her place. But if you go in her place, make sure you take your shoes off. Don't walk in there with your boots on like I did. Now, so every one of these that you're showing us, have you been to that dimension? Do you go to the dimension and then draw it, or something else?
I think it's already, like I said, everything is inside of us. Yeah. And also we, many of us have went through so many star systems because we're, we keep growing. We want to have a different experience, so we keep moving. Yeah. So yeah, I have been to Pleiadian, star system, and I don't know the details.
Yeah, you just know because you feel your way around. Yeah.
Right.
That is absolutely extraordinary, though. It looks like a totem pole, and I wouldn't have come up with that unless you said that. But there's so much in there. Like I can see toward the bottom looks almost like I want to say like a female Buddha or something. But and then the wings above it, and there's another set of wings, and yeah, very, very far out, no doubt.
Yeah, this is the recent one, so I guess I'm starting from here. Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
So I guess I can go to the next one. There's a microphone, but
it's okay.
Okay, this one is called Divine Mother, and I think it's really appropriate around this time because the bottom part is like a humanness, the inner child. We are so allowed to experience anything because the Creator only asks us to learn from every experience. So there's no judgment in good and bad in anything.
Right.
And that's where I get the energy from. There's no good and bad, and everything is just a treasure. Yeah. So the bottom part is like an inner child or humanness, the playing and experience everything, and above is the mother essence that is embracing and enveloping every layer and every experience and holding that divine wisdom. So, yes. And I think
they say so much, it's like it's not even like a story. It's more like a really big book, right?
Right. Yeah.
Do you have people just come in there and pull up a chair and just sit in front of one for a long time?
Yeah, they can do that too. There's a cushion and they can sit and, sit here if they want to.
Wow.
So, if you have time, I'd like to bring you to
keep going as long as you want. Yeah.
Okay. So
let's keep going.
All right.
Yeah, because when we went, we tried to go to the back room, which is a galactic activation room, and we couldn't go in because the signal wouldn't hold.
Right. And hopefully it will work here. And I might sound a little different because these rooms echoes. So here it is.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you just fine. Yes.
So there's a light. This one is called Crystalline Energy, the cosmic crystalline energy. And we are this also. This is the energy, I'm just speaking from what I, feel from the drawing. So it may not be 100% correct, but these are the energy that is going through the whole universes, and we are part of it because we are part of that crystalline structure. And so this is like us, but also in a bigger way. It's how the energy is going everywhere.
It looks like a cosmic giant, you know.
It does.
To me, where that light's shining at the top, there's like a head or a face, and then the shoulders with the big arms and all that stuff in the middle. I mean, that's like just, I guess that's what you would call off-planet geometry. I don't know. I mean, this is so different. Have you ever seen anyone that does anything like this? Because I haven't.
No, I haven't either.
Wow. Oh, wow. You can see more when you get closer, right? It starts to change. Good.
I'm trying to get that.
It's like masters within the master.
That's what we are.
Yeah.
The gods within the god within the god.
Yes. Yeah, you said it better. Yeah.
Oh, no, there's no better.
Wow. Somebody said, Delia said, it reminds her of the beings of light that are geometry in their full form. Yeah, that's quite an activation right there. And this is the crystalline body?
Yeah, universal crystal energy. That's what I call it, but you can call it whatever. Universal.
Universal crystal energy.
You know, the words limit. So
yes.
Whatever you feel is the right thing.
Yeah. Wow.
So and the thing I like about my design is it has a lot of curves, and they're all freehand. So if you go close up, you can see the little wobbliness, and I like that because the energy is always moving and changing, and also some of the lines are very more feminine, which the earth has been lacking for a long time because we've been kind of in a straight edge line design, control and hierarchy and things like that. Yeah. And now this curvy line is really coming in to the earth. So I think over the years, I'm really learning from the drawing how the things are.
Yeah, I noticed that in the other two as well. The curves, they like carry a big feminine essence. That's why I said that first one to me looked like the mother. It was full of these curves, but yeah.
So I can go to another one. This one is really more simple but very important.
What's it called?
It's called New Heaven on Earth, but also it's called Christ Consciousness. And what I have learned from this drawing is that in the middle there's a heart, and on the lower part I feel it's the humanness, and then it doesn't matter lower or higher. The humanness could be in the higher too, but basically it's the merge of the divine essence and the human essence together in the heart center. So in order to really create the shift on the earth, we have to love everything, everyone, and so that's what we're doing individually, and then collectively we are doing as well.
Now, do you sit in front of these and communicate with them?
Not really. I sometimes stand. I haven't really communicate, but I feel.
Yeah.
And
but
my body.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, but you feel like you've already said that you don't really, but you feel your way. So through you gain some type of information through feeling when you're creating them and looking at them.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I guess I am kind of remembering from within as I allow this, whatever is coming through my hands. So
yeah, somebody else said just looking at it brings an alignment with higher understanding.
Yes, yeah, my wish is to bring whatever the pure essence of who we are, pure essence of, you know, every dimensions.
God, this one is just, this is like, to me, this one looks like it's got everything in it. What's this one called?
This one is called New Angelic Code.
New Angelic Code.
But again, you know, that name doesn't really matter. But what I felt from this one is a lot of Mary Magdalene energy. And, you know, back in Christ's time, the feminine wisdom was not really accepted and rejected and erased, and felt like this is the newer design that, you know, they wanted to anchor in that time, but they couldn't completely. So this is another newer version of it that is coming into the earth.
And this one's really powerful, and to me it looks very, very feminine. Like there's a, but I don't mean just feminine like soft, I mean like feminine power. Like big power, like giant power.
Right. Maybe that's why this is, yeah, it has a lot to do with Mary Magdalene and from that time. So Mary and Christ is in this energy as well as
and you do these all freehand.
But I use eraser.
Yeah, but I use an eraser. But still, freehand's freehand, right?
Right, freehand, because free, you know, it has more freedom, of course, and it could be wobbly.
Wow. God, really, really makes a difference when you get close like that. It just, there's so much in there. I mean, there's so many beings in it, right? Like you said, the God was God's within the God within the God, or in this case, the God is within the goddess within the goddess. There's so many different beings.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, every time I look at it, I see different things, and that's the fun thing about my drawing.
Yeah, you never get the same thing twice, right?
I guess so. And whatever, we are changing as well. So if we share and change energetically, then you receive something different.
Wow. And do you have like smaller prints of these things?
Yeah, I do.
So you take a picture and then make a smaller print. Somebody else said it, and I saw a poster one time, and they said it reminds them of the higher selves in Keys of Enoch.
Could be. Yeah, Enoch's energy must be in here.
Wow, that's a strong feminine expression, like very powerful.
Yeah, and I feel that now that it's really, really happening.
Yes. Yes. Especially recently, right? It's like you guys are just stepping up now.
Right. Well, we are expanding our territory.
That's right. Take it. We need it.
Right.
Wow, that's incredible. And it's got all of them. They have like galactic energy and angelic energy and even elemental energy and animal kingdom energy.
I'm glad you see that.
Yeah, and then energies, and then the other energies are like off planet or off universe. Like, you know, they're just not something I've seen, you know, that I've seen before. But they really speak, don't they?
Yeah, you can feel it in the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Did you ever think that you'd be able to sustain yourself and live doing something like this? Or did you ever even think about it?
Well, I would like to, and I think I'm moving into that more and more as I am, you know, activating or I think more and more we become human. I think more and more we are collecting the parts of us. So I think I'm in the process of that, you know, expansion. And I have been doing a lot for Japanese people. That's where I am, you know, I chose to be born. And so I have been doing a lot of encouraging the woman to be independent, for example, because Japan is more male dominant, much more so than America.
Yes.
So I have been doing that as a side job, but I feel like there's something new that I am going to do along with this artwork and also the music that I have been doing.
Yeah, I've been watching that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I feel like the lot of information can be sent through the frequencies, and it's very practical in a way to inform people or give the new energy to people through the frequency that you feel like you want to bring forth. So I'm in the new phase of discovering that possibility.
Wow. And this one here, the lower one, that's busy, isn't it? There's a lot in there.
Let's see if I can.
It's like a bunch of little ones in a big one.
I'm gonna flip the phone. Okay. Yeah, this one is called, well, they're huge, so I have to go.
God.
This is about 10 feet or 12 feet long. The bottom one is called Lemurian and Atlantis merged. And it's hard to, it's kind of angle, but I can show.
Look at that.
It's a lot of, there's like Atlantean temples and Lemurian temples.
Crystals, beans. I even saw a rabbit.
Ship. Yeah, of course, there's a rabbit, always.
Wow. So when you start to do one of these, do you have a picture in your mind, or you just kind of do it like through automatic writing?
It's a feeling. I just follow the feeling. So when I draw a line, and if there's not really aligned with my feeling, I kind of know. And that's when I use the eraser.
Well, nothing wrong with that.
But also I've learned that there's no mistake. So,
true.
You know, yeah.
God. I don't even know what to say about it. God, that looks like a huge butterfly. And then you get closer and I see an angel with her arms open, a baby angel, some type of bird, a fish. And then
they kind of transform.
Yeah. And there's so many things that you look at and you can see a being, but nothing like on Earth. It's just, you can tell though that there's a being there. Wow. Wow. God, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's
like, what is that? That's just like, that's like a multiverse.
Yeah. This one is called Map of Universes.
Map of the universes. Okay. I was gonna say it looks like a multiverse, like or a galactic game board or something. It's wow.
Yeah, it's really fun. And it's just, I'm learning that, of course, everything is connected. Yeah. But it's,
Look at that. Look at that temple that with all the colors in it and all the detail. What is that? Light language or glyph?
I think so. Something like that.
It looks like almost like some type of it looks like a temple, but I mean at the same time it looks like it's some type of like a starship. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy right there. What is that?
I don't know. There's so many things that we just don't know. And it's good that we don't know, really.
Wow. People are getting activated. Wow, look at that. Yeah, this one here. Delia says it reminds her of the Rainbow Bridge Stargate jump point into the multiverses.
Yeah.
Tower. Yeah, that's a better word. Not what did I say? A temple, but yeah, it looks like a tower, like an obelisk. That other one, yeah. But this one, again, it looks like a cosmic Merkaba or a other universal starship. I mean, it's and they feel like electric, magnetic, and then you got the curves and the straight lines.
Sorry, my hands are getting tired, so
that's okay. I know how that goes. So wow, so that's just like that's another amazing one too. That looks like the cosmic flower of life or something.
Yeah, this one is called joy and abundance and peace.
Wow. And so I noticed that you've been playing the flute and you play in front of one of your pieces. And that's pretty powerful. In fact, I have one here. I don't know can I play a little bit of it?
Sure.
Just to show everybody. Okay. So let me just pull it up because I have it here. I wanted to show everybody if you're okay with it. Let me get this straight. Hang on. All right. Let's see here. All right. So give me a second. I'm going to make this work. Okay, here we go. And I need to move this over here. Okay. So wait. Oh, I wish I could get it bigger. There we go. Wow. Yeah. How amazing
Oh, thank you.
is that? I mean, you know, sometimes I lay down in between shows, and I don't usually have a lot of time, so I try to like, so I uh, turned it on, a couple of them that you had, that one, and I just put it on and I just chill, you know, and it's really good for that. But I you know, I don't play the flute, but I have played. I had a friend of mine, a sister that played the native flutes, and so she had a whole bunch of them, and you make it look so easy, and you're so little. She had this one, and it was a double flute about the size of the one you have, and
Wow.
it had eight it had eight holes. I think that one you had six or seven or eight, but those big ones you've really got to blow into them to make them make a noise. And you're like, it looks like you're not even tired when you're playing that thing. Do you play it a lot?
No, but I think I have a big lung. You know,
You must.
I played a lot of flute when I was little,
Okay.
like recorders, and then I was in a brass band playing clarinet. So I think I have the capacity
Well,
of the
evidently
lung.
you do, because I've played, and I mean for hours, the big flute, and man, it was like you had to train for it. You know, you really
Yeah.
had to, you know, and really like preserve your breath and get the most out of each breath. You know, because
Yeah.
once you run out of breath, there's nothing left.
Well, you get to know, you know, that takes a practice, and you
Yeah.
know, just the knowingness you learn from the physical. So, and mhm.
There's quite a few comments here. Somebody said that they'd buy one of these drawings. They Somebody else gave a blessing. How beautiful music and her art. May Haruko, BlueStar child, flow in love and abundance as she shares her spectacular gifts to the planet.
Thank
Um,
you.
wow. I mean, this is so. And then somebody said they'd like to have one of those pictures. That's Janie Hodges, my friend, as a bedspread. Have you
I
have you
know.
have you thought about that? Yeah,
No, that's
or even
yeah,
tapestries. You know,
yeah, you
tapestries.
know,
You're
that's
gonna
another
be
level.
you're gonna be a multi-billionaire, I think, in the new Earth, because yeah, you could have tapestries. You could put them on coffee cups, although that'd be my kind of difficult. But if you're putting them on smaller prints, then you got to be able to. But the
Yeah.
tapestries and bedspreads, you know, that's
Yeah, I've been talking about that. I just haven't got to that production part yet because
yeah. Well,
I can't do
everything.
everything.
No, I know how you feel, and everything in the. Oh, that's another idea. Uh, Somebody said put it on your ceiling over your bed.
Yeah,
Wow, wouldn't that
I've
be
done that
trippy?
too.
Wouldn't that be trippy? Put a couple of lights at the perfect angle, you know. Um,
Yeah, but
but
bed sheets definitely like the one on the
yeah,
back is called gratitude for water. And the
mm,
water, you know, we are made of water basically. So I used to have the big prints about this size, and I lay on it, and somehow the water floats really well. And whenever I had a shoulder ache or something, I used to sit on there. And so, you know, bed sheets, whatever, it would be wonderful. And I think that's how everything should be made with intention. You know, like for example, bed sheets is for rejuvenation. You want to have that energy into it. And I mean, that's common sense in a way, but we haven't, you know, got to that level yet, you know, and unconscious about what we use and what we eat and what we put on the wall or everything
and
else. And so
and how we do things too. You know, there's a lot of people in the community that have been working as healers and energy practitioners and artists, and there's been a real struggle to, for lack of a better word, to commercialize their work. But I think that part of the reason, like you said, you know, I can relate to that, believe me, is you can't do everything, right? But one of the things that we're learning is, you know, Morgan and I with Sology is, and we're told that don't get in a rush, don't force anything, let it just flow. Things will come to you, because the new earth, these creations of the new earth cannot have the old earth with it.
exactly.
Right? So
I totally feel that.
yeah. So I get what you're saying. I can totally get to what you're saying. Yeah, we've been trying to,
well, there's the infinite possibilities, and you know, yeah, we can't really use the old structures. And people say, you know, there's the small business funding from the government. No, I'm not gonna apply for that one.
No, I don't want to be in the system. I don't want to be in the system.
I believe in the infinite space, and I'm
That's
gonna
right.
create, you know, out of my infinite possibilities. And I've been doing that for over 10 years, little by little. And I'm so sure that we can all do it. And once we step into our, you know, true power, we have so much information available, and so much help available, and so much energy available. And as we come together in our hearts, you know, it's essential that we're gonna co-create.
That's right. From and you know, that's another thing about your drawings. Like, okay, like you said, if you had it as a bed sheet, and it was the one about the water, then there's, even though it's not physically water, you've actually created this energetic thing that has these qualities. And I think that's part of the new earth creations, I think so too. Is it's not like traditional, you don't make it in the traditional way. You know? It's not just, I think so. You know what I mean? It's not just literal and physical, it's actually non-physical, energetic form.
And we sense that already. The sensitive ones know which one is made out of no intention and which one is made out of heart. You can tell the difference. So that's how the real heart economy happens, I feel.
Yeah. Our friend Ariana, she says, I wonder what it would look like if it was 3D printed with height and width. Oh my God, you're going to be a multi-trillionaire, I think, on the new earth. I mean, that
regenerate, right?
Yeah, but think about it.
Regenerate the energy.
Yes.
There's so much possibilities.
Yes, absolutely, there is. And then with color, then like with colors and sound, like you did with the flute, because when you play the flute and you're staring at one of those things, it changes everything again, right? And even the lighting.
Right.
And I got to tell everybody, I've been in her place, in her establishment, and when you're standing in front of these things, all I can say is, if you go to Shasta, you need to go to her shop, to her studio, but you're going to be there a while. So you might want to take a lunch, because you're going to be there a while. I mean, it's like a library. It's like an Akashic library, you know, but like, what did you say? In the present, where there's limitless potential. It's like that. It's like being in a space of future, past, present, all in one, multiversal. Yeah, you can stare at them for hours.
And one more thing I'd like to add is that I feel to bring the original innocence. And a lot of my drawing, the one I've shown in there is very intense, geometry, but there are some cute ones. A lot of them are very, very cute. And, the original innocence is the essence of the source, which is we all are. And so we need to awaken, remember, the original essence, the original innocence. And the most of the pain that is now liberating on the earth is the sadness, the grief that we got so separate from the source. And I can feel even from the whatever they call dark ones, and they have so much sadness because they separated from the source. So what I want to say is that we all need to come into this remembrance that we are amazing, gorgeous, powerful, bright, innocent, child of God or child of the source or whatever that is.
Yes.
So that's something that I am emphasizing in my life and in this space. Beautiful. Where people feel, comfortable and safe, and
the childlike wonder essence.
Right. I feel like that's the energy, the essence of the creator or the source, and just be playful and have fun. And we came here to have fun.
That's right.
So,
and we've gotten to the point now where we can actually start doing that.
Right.
Because we're starting to understand that it's not supposed to be hard anymore.
Right. Well, the hardness sometimes pushes us through the heavy walls, and
True.
So in a duality, sometimes it's necessary. It feels like, and it's not easy. My body hurts. Everything gets wrong, and or emotions is so not easy to look at. It's really painful. But I think, in this duality that we live, which doesn't need to be, but still it is in a way, because we can use one side to go into another side. And, if we have anger, then it's like you can use that energy into a new engine, new force of who you become. And so you can recycle. Once we get cut off between the walls, it gets stuck. But once you know how to use them both, then it's no more duality. It's just a cycling.
Yeah. Amazing. You're absolutely amazing and beautiful. And I'm grateful.
Well, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yeah,
and,
we'll have
Morgan
to do it
as well.
Yeah. Yes, we'll have to do it again down the road too, later this year. Maybe we'll come to Shasta. I don't know.
And looking forward to the final cosmic party when we're gonna play music together and dance together. That's right. What I came here for.
Hey, I'm with you. That's the best thing. I'm with you on that one. And with all these up on the walls, but they won't even be on the walls. They'll be like neon, like lasers, these creations, right?
Yes. We're gonna expand.
We're gonna show the universe what a real disco looks like.
That's right. All the ETs are gonna be so want to come.
It's gonna be like that bar in Star Wars with all the. I love that. I want to tell you, that you this started for you in 1999, and there's a lot of women around the world that it started for them 20 years ago, some 30 years ago, and they've been doing this work for a long time. They've been told they're crazy, they've been suppressed, but they continue to connect with the universe, and they continue to do grid work, and they continue to bring alignment and anchoring to the earth through their own talents, through their own gifts. And you're one of them. And I want to say thank you for doing that on behalf of everybody. And I want to thank all of you for that. Because there was no there was no light worker community back then. There was nothing. So you guys knew to stay with it, and we're all better off for it. So I just want to say thank you for that. And I want to say I love collaborating with you. I love to be a part of expanding what you're doing. I look forward to collaborating with you later in the year,
Thank you.
and maybe in person. And I also want to thank you for coming in today and sharing space with us and being so open with your.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Todd. And I like to say that, thank you for creating this network that we can capture amazing information from all over the world. And you're like, cosmic tapestry person. At the same time, you're holding all the wisdom, so you can handle all that, and no judgment, and such a unconditional love that I feel. And I really appreciate what you do and being here. And so thank you.
You're very welcome. And all blessings to you and yours.
Oh, thank you. And one more thing. This weekend, I think I'll have a Facebook Live music.
Yes.
So I'll announce that on my page. And
send me the link on Messenger.
Okay.
Send me the link on Messenger and I'll spread it through the network.
I'll try. And then whoever like to visit my artwork is on my website. So too. And then also
now your website. What is your website?
It's easy. BlueStarChild.com.
BlueStarChild.com. And just so everybody knows, because some people asked, you can get prints of these things. I've seen them in her studio.
Yeah.
So I would ask you to put that information on my page, because it's on different pages, but on my page, the main page, in the comments.
Okay.
So anything you want to tell anybody or announce, or the links. And then I would also tell you that it'd be a good idea to go onto YouTube, Soldier One Studios channel, because it's live there too. I just can't see the comments. We're working on that, by the way. But there's quite a few people going there. So you might want to put the comment in the YouTube video as well. Especially because, and I'd also let them know you're in Shasta, because a lot of people are going to Shasta. So, but you, I appreciate you very much, and I love you very much, and thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good rest of the day.
You too.